makes me feel sad for the rest. Nobody does it half as good as you. Baby, you're the best.
Sean Connery is James Bond, Agent 007. Never say never again.
My name's Bond.
Oh, you're Mr. Bond. I believe I'm having you in half an hour.
Oh, splendid. Your room or mine?
Heavy, Mr. Bond?
You're marvelously well equipped.
Thank you, James. So are you.
Good to see you, Mr. Bond. Things have been awfully dull round here. I hope we're going to have some gratuitous sex and violence.
I certainly hope so, too.
Bond, the game is over.
Sean Connery is Ian Fleming's James Bond in Never Say Never Again.
I don't believe this! What? It's the cops, man! Cops are on strike, stupid! Can't you hear that? Did you see that? Beautiful. Peace, officer. Take it over, Creed.
Luke Skywalker and Han Solo rescued the princess, destroyed the Death Star, but their story didn't end there. Now, the creators of the biggest smash hit of all time bring you the next episode in the Star Wars saga, The Empire Strikes Back. The continuing story of our band of heroes: Luke Skywalker, Princess Leia, Han Solo, C-3PO, R2-D2, and Chewbacca. And introducing Lando Calrissian. It's an epic of romance, of heroes and villains, they cross trackless voids to unknown worlds. A galactic odyssey against oppression. A big, new, sprawling space adventure in the Star Wars saga, The Empire Strikes Back. Coming to your galaxy next summer.
He says that now I just make up stories. And he says, I lie. And they love it. And the more I lie, the more I love it. And I look at it in print and I say, that's beautiful. When I used to tell the truth, it was boring. Well, I'll tell you the truth. In one of my classes at USC, when I was teaching for a few terms way back in the 60s, George Lucas was a student. And even then I could see that he was a very special student. Not that he had a great eye, but he had vision. And vision goes beyond having an eye. It's the eye, the heart, the creativity. He could do things that he saw things that others didn't see in terms of film. He saw a scene from many different angles. And I'm talking metaphor. I'm not talking actual visuals, because he was not a good cameraman at all. And in the 2 terms I had him, I think it was 2 terms, I was really surprised. He was different. He was good. Years later, we remained sort of distant friends. We had a group, and Coppola was one of them, and Walter Murch was one of them. He was the one who does the editing for the final editing. We had a New Year's party at Francis Coppola's house in San Francisco. And after enough drinks during the day, Francis said, we're all going down to the projection room and we're going to look at some of the stuff that George is shooting right now. A thing called Star Wars. Star Wars? Yeah. So we all went downstairs to the projection room. And now starts a few scenes he's showing. And we're sitting there, and George is standing back at the door. And we don't want to face him. This is the most awful stuff we've ever seen. And we all turned around, went out, and of course said the usual things. Jesus, George, you got a lot of work to do yet. We were really concerned for him. Now, he had a lot of trouble getting the money to make the film. Every studio turned it down. Every studio. And George started spending his own money in London building sets. Nobody believed in it. Only George. It's amazing. I give him so much credit for that. He went to London, made the picture, brought it back, and showed it to Laddie and Fox. They hated it. I can tell you. They said, we shouldn't release this. And George said, well, listen, could I show it once to a audience? Oh, yeah, you can show it. So he paid for a projection, and people brought their kids. The children in the audience were screaming so loud we couldn't hear the dialogue, which was a blessing in a way. They were screaming. And I looked back, and all the people from Fox, the big wheels, were there, and they were standing like this. What's happening? Is this good or bad? You know, the way they're screaming. Anyway, it was such a good showing that they said, all right, we'll give it a limited release. And that was the beginning. That was the beginning. It wasn't a shoe-in.